Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. Today, I want to talk about the reaction of the left to newly elected President Trump. Anyway, so people are moving out. Celebrities who can afford it can sell their house for millions and millions of dollars and move to another country. Let's just see how much better these new countries that they're going to live in are going to be for them, because I think the best place, and having to live in another country, the best place ever is the United States of America. Also, I've been in other countries where I've seen how people lived and heard stories about people being silenced. There's no freedom of speech. In America, God has blessed this country from the gate when our forefathers came and took over and based it on the teachings of the Bible, which is great for us. It's been working since then. They have written the Constitution perfectly so that it lasts forever and ever and ever, just like the Bible, right? But people want to dismiss that. People want to change everything and change this world. And no matter what they do, they cannot do. I mean, the last 4 years, I was already thinking to myself, just praying and praying to God that He doesn't turn His back on us, because every day there's something that's being just shoved in our faces, and that's totally against the teachings of the Bible, totally against, and actually going toward away from God. And just praying that it doesn't gain traction with especially the young people who are so impressionable, and the total opposite of what God wants us to get closer to Him. The celebrities that are leaving, it's like, go ahead, get out of here, because we don't need your influence. We don't need to tell us, you guys to tell us what we need to vote for and who to vote for. And I think that Donald Trump is on the right track for it, and hopefully he stays on the right track, because that blazed the trail for new people, new conservatives coming in and just doing what's right for our country, just like the forefathers did. Remember, that generation is the one that's going to be in charge when we get older, and we need to be able to know that we're going to be safe. Speaking as an older person, that we need to be safe in our years, our last years on earth. And we want those teachings from the olden days that is actually becoming less and less, that they stick to that. We don't need the lies. We don't need the media telling us what to do. As a matter of fact, the mainstream media right now is on a spiral, and especially MSNBC, where nobody even wants to buy MSNBC. It's going to be, they need to reinvent themselves, in which that's what's happening right now, is they're trying to reinvent themselves, trying to change the name and the branding and everything so that it doesn't seem like it's associated with MSNBC. Rachel Maddow, John Scarborough and his wife Mika, they went to Mar-a-Lago to talk to Donald Trump. I mean, that's like never heard. It's when they were talking about Donald Trump during the campaign, they hated him. They called him the H person's word, and they're just passing along this misinformation, and people who don't have the time to really research it will believe what they hear on TV, because TV is the easiest source, the very handy type of getting your news. Well, you come home, you sit down, you watch TV, and whatever you hear, or in the morning when you first wake up, you're driving to work, whatever you hear on the radio is what you're going to believe, even if it's not something that you have researched and seen what the other side is about. I mean, that also goes for the conservative way. I can tell ever since Donald Trump won that they're repeating, some of these media places are repeating the misinformation that Donald Trump is you know, the H word and fascist and all that stuff, which is not true. You know, if he was, then he would have done this when he was a president 8 years ago. He hasn't done any of those things. So if he was going, if he had an agenda like that, it would have been, he would have done that the first year that he was president, but he hasn't done that. So I don't know what they're talking about. I really, you know, it just boggles my mind where they're getting all this information from. And I just think that if you want to leave, leave the country, go ahead, do so, because we don't need people here who are going to be spreading fake news and telling people, especially the ones who don't have the time. I mean, everybody's working, you know, they make it so that it's so hard to live these days, and they make it so that you have to almost get a second job or a third job even just to survive, especially the young generation that have kids that they're trying to support. Like, they're 24/7 trying to work, 24/7 trying to make money so that they can survive. And it's just not fair. We need to also enjoy the fruits of our labor. We need to be able to take the kids at least to a movie at the end of the week and be able to afford to take them out to dinner or lunch or whatever without getting gouged so much with all this, the money that we made.